Today we bring you a tale that starts with joy, twists into doubt, and ultimately wraps you in the warmth of love and understanding. Meet Ella, a senior manager at a marketing firm who skillfully balances her demanding career with a fulfilling family life. Her relationship with her husband, Mike, is the envy of their friends, open, honest, and deeply loving. But today, something extraordinary happens. A canceled work meeting gives Ella an unexpected afternoon off, sparking her to surprise Mike at home, buzzing with excitement. As she approaches her home, anticipation turns to confusion and suspicion. The door opens to a story she never expected, testing the very foundations of her trust. What unfolds is a cascade of emotions from shock and betrayal to profound confusion and unexpected revelations. Join us as we dive into Ella's journey, from the highs of love to the lows of heartache, and back to the surprising joys of life. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. When a last-minute cancellation of an important work meeting allowed Ella to unexpectedly leave the office much earlier than usual, she was overjoyed by the rare chance to surprise her husband, Mike. The thought of spending an unplanned afternoon together filled her heart with excitement, a brief respite from their increasingly hectic lives. However, little did she know that the real surprise was waiting for her right at her doorstep, a discovery so shocking that it would shake her to her very core, unraveling the very fabric of her life and thrusting her into a whirlwind of emotions and unforeseen challenges. Welcome to Tales Unveiled, where we delve into stories that twist and turn in the most unexpected ways. Let's embark on this emotional journey together. Ella had always taken pride in her remarkable ability to balance the demanding pressures of her career with the warmth and responsibilities of her home life. As a senior manager at a fast-paced marketing firm, her days often stretched long into the night, yet she never allowed her professional obligations to eclipse the moments that truly mattered, those spent with her beloved family. Mike and their children were the center of her universe, and despite the relentless demands of her work, they were always her top priority, the light in her life that kept her going. Ella and Mike's marriage was a shining example of unwavering love and deep connection, a relationship admired by many for its strength and mutual respect. Together they had weathered the storms of life, embracing each other's imperfections and dreams with open hearts, nurturing a bond that only grew stronger with time. Their love story was one of resilience and unwavering dedication, a beacon of hope and inspiration to those around them. On that crisp, invigorating morning, Ella had left home before the first light of dawn, driven by the excitement of a major project that awaited her at work. By noon, she had accomplished what she had set out to do, and the idea of an unexpected afternoon with Mike filled her with a sense of joy and anticipation. It felt like a perfect reward, a precious moment to reconnect and savor each other's company, something that had become increasingly rare in their busy lives. But as Ella approached her home, her heart brimming with happiness, she could never have imagined that what lay ahead would change everything she thought she knew about her life, her love, and herself. As she neared her home, her heart buoyant with anticipation, her pace slowed abruptly at the sight of an enigmatic figure. A woman obscured behind dark sunglasses exited their home in a rush, her movements hurried and purposeful. Ella's initial burst of happiness was quickly overshadowed by a creeping sense of unease as she watched the stranger make a swift escape in a nearby vehicle, casting a cautious look back at the house before disappearing down the street. Confusion marred Ella's features as she stood there, her hand suspended in mid-air before the doorknob, the cold metal ungrasped. Mike had never mentioned any visitors, and certainly not about hiring any sort of help that would warrant such stealth. Could he be hiding something from her? Ella wrestled with her rising suspicions, trying to convince herself that she was merely letting her imagination run wild. Yet the encounter planted a stubborn seed of doubt that refused to be dismissed. As she finally turned the doorknob and stepped inside, her mind was a whirlwind of doubt and conjecture, each thought more troubling than the last. The certainty of their shared love and trust seemed to waver under the weight of this unexpected mystery, casting a shadow over the sanctuary they had built together. Upon entering her home, Ella's voice trembled as she called out to her family. "Mike, Emily, Jack from the backyard." Mike's reassuring voice floated back. "We're out here." Honey relief washed over Ella as she stepped outside to find Mike assisting the kids with their schoolwork. The normalcy of the scene briefly quelled the storm of suspicions brewing within her, tempting her to dismiss the earlier unsettling encounter as a figment of her overactive imagination. However, the respite was short-lived. Just 3 days later, another canceled meeting presented Ella with the opportunity to return home prematurely, only to be greeted by the sight of the same mysterious woman hastily exiting her home. The woman's quick departure upon noticing Ella only deepened the sinking feeling in her chest. The coincidence was too stark to ignore, and a tumultuous wave of doubts and fears began to overpower her resolve. That evening, fraught with anxiety and a desperate need for clarity, Ella confronted Mike. "Who was that woman?" she asked, striving to maintain a semblance of calm, though her voice cracked under the strain. Mike's complexion blanched momentarily before he regained his composure, replying nonchalantly, "Oh, that's just someone I hired to help out with some stuff around the house." Ella yearned to believe him, as she had so many times before, but the seed of distrust had already taken root, casting a long shadow over her faith in his words. In the days that followed, a chasm grew between them. Ella found herself withdrawing from Mike, her gaze unable to meet his, her mind replaying every detail of his recent behaviors that now seemed peculiar and suspicious. She threw herself into her work, clinging to normalcy, but the facade was crumbling. Haunted by visions of the mysterious woman and tormented by the secrets Mike seemed to harbor, Ella's distress burgeoned, rendering her sleepless and distracted. As suspicion transformed into obsession, every action Mike took seemed laced with deceit. When Ella encountered the mysterious woman once again, this time lingering near their house, her fury and despair reached their zenith. It was no longer possible to chalk up these meetings to mere coincidence. Consumed by rage, she stormed into the living room where Mike was sitting. Her voice, though shaking, was laden with an ultimatum. "We need to talk," she declared, her eyes alight with a mix of fear and anger. "Right now, Mike, I need you to be honest with me. Who was that woman, and what was she doing behind my back?" The weight of her words filled the room, signaling a pivotal moment that would define the future of their relationship. As Ella watched Mike's ashen face, his eyes darting away from hers, she could almost hear the silent drumbeat of dread that filled the room. "Ella, it's complicated," he whispered, his voice thin and strained, barely audible over the pounding of her own heart. The vagueness of his admission did little but fan the flames of suspicion that had been quietly kindling in the pit of her stomach, compelling her to seek the stark truth that lay hidden beneath the surface of their everyday lives. One oppressively quiet afternoon, with the house echoing its emptiness and Mike away submerged in the demands of work, Ella mustered the fortitude to breach the last bastion of his privacy. Her fingers trembled as they entered the familiar yet now forbidden territory of his phone, a device that suddenly felt like a stranger's. With each tap, a sense of foreboding grew, thick and suffocating, as she navigated through the digital maze to his messages. There, hidden among the mundane exchanges of daily life, was a message that struck like a cold blade, the words from a contact saved only by a cryptic initial, veiled yet unmistakably suggestive. The discovery was a visceral blow, shattering the fragile pane of trust that had once shielded her from such painful revelations. In that stark moment, the world as Ella knew it crumbled into dust. The harrowing reality of the woman she had seen slipping from their home, the secretive whispers captured in digital ink, the raw deceit each revelation crashed over her like relentless waves, leaving her nauseated with grief and disbelief. The visceral pain of betrayal throbbed through her veins, a physical ache so profound it rivaled the emotional torment that wrapped its cold fingers around her heart. The prospect of dismantling the family they had built together, of tearing apart the very fabric of their shared existence, was heartbreakingly real. Yet the cut of betrayal ran deeper, slicing through her resolve with a clarity that was both terrifying and liberating. No longer could she live in the shadows of doubts and half-truths. The deceit had carved too deep a chasm between what was and what could never be again. Driven by a storm of hurt and determination, Ella wrestled with her conscience, grappling with the shards of what once was. After days of internal strife, punctuated by nights devoid of sleep and days blurred by tears, she reached a painful resolution. The divorce papers, stark and unyielding in her hands, felt like the final echo of their fractured vows. Gripping them, she was acutely aware of their symbolic weight, the culmination of love turned to disillusionment, of shared dreams disintegrated into a harsh awakening. This decision, born of betrayal and nurtured by a desperate need for truth, marked a somber passage in her life. As she prepared to step away from the ruins of their marriage, Ella embraced the painful yet necessary journey towards healing and rediscovery, a path she would now walk alone, but with a spirit tempered by the fires of adversity. With tears streaming down her face, Ella drove home, rehearsing the words that would dissolve their union. Every turn towards the house was a step towards an end, towards the destruction of the life they had meticulously built together. Her heart ached unbearably as she parked the car. The familiar sights of their shared existence, now sources of profound sorrow. Her hands shook as she reached for the door, bracing herself for the inevitable painful confrontation. However, the scene that unfolded as she stepped inside was not the battleground she had envisioned. Instead, the house was adorned with balloons and streamers, fairy lights casting a gentle glow across the living room, and a banner that joyously proclaimed, "Happy 40th birthday, Ella." In the whirlwind of suspicion and heartbreak, her birthday had slipped from her mind. As she absorbed the sight, Mike's face transformed into a genuine, warm smile, his eyes finally meeting hers. "Surprise, honey. Happy birthday." In that surreal moment, the juxtaposition of her planned confrontation with the unexpected celebration left her stunned, caught between the remnants of betrayal and the remnants of a love that had once felt unshakable. The complexity of her emotions painted a vivid picture of a relationship at a crossroads, where hurt mingled with moments of past happiness, demanding a reevaluation of what truly mattered. Ella stood motionless, the cold weight of the divorce papers pressing into her palm, as a tumult of emotions swirled within her. "What's all this?" Mike, her voice wavered, a delicate thread of hope threading through the confusion and shock. Mike closed the distance between them, his hands gently encircling hers, grounding her amid her turmoil. "Ella, I owe you a deep apology and an explanation," he began, his voice thick with emotion. "The woman you've seen, she's been helping me organize your birthday celebration. I wanted to make your 40th memorable." He paused, searching her eyes for understanding. "Since I lost my job, I've felt adrift, unable to contribute to our family the way I used to. You've been the pillar holding everything up, and it's weighed heavily on me." His voice softened, imbued with a mix of admiration and regret. "I wanted to show you how much you mean to me, Ella. How deeply I appreciate everything you do. You are the heart of our family, strong and unwavering. Organizing this, focusing on the kids, and easing your burdens at home, it was my way of proving that I'm still here, still fighting to be the man you deserve." Tears pooled in Ella's eyes as guilt and relief mingled in her heart. She had been so wrapped up in her fears and suspicions that she had completely overlooked the signs of his love. I forgot my birthday," she admitted, a laugh tinged with disbelief escaping her. Looking into Mike's hopeful eyes, she realized the depth of his devotion, even in the shadow of her doubts. "You were planning this the whole time, weren't you? And here I was, thinking the worst." Attempting to lighten the heavy air, she quipped. "Seems we both have our moments of forgetfulness." A genuine smile broke through her earlier reservations. Mike returned her smile, his relief palpable. "I'm sorry for the secrets, for any pain they caused. It was all for this moment, to see you happy." His voice was earnest, pleading for her understanding. As Ella allowed the divorce papers to fall gently from her fingers, she reached out and pulled Mike into a tight embrace, her actions resonating with the depth of her renewed faith in their relationship. Mike responded in kind, his arms enveloping her, their tears blending in a poignant moment of reconciliation. "It's okay, Ella," he whispered soothingly, his voice a balm to her unsettled spirit. "We all have our fears. Let's leave the doubts in the past and celebrate you tonight. You deserve nothing less." This embrace marked more than a simple gesture of affection. It symbolized the beginning of healing, knitting together the fractures that had threatened their bond. Renewed trust and the recognition of each other's quiet, steadfast efforts to support one another fortified their connection, reminding them of the resilience of true love. As the evening progressed, filled with laughter, shared stories, and tender moments, Ella came to understand a vital lesson about the nature of trust. Though it had been shaken, trust was not beyond repair. It required open, heartfelt communication, deep empathy, and the willingness to forgive. There had been a moment, shrouded in doubt, when Ella nearly let her fears dismantle the most precious relationship in her life. But through the trials of the evening, their love proved not only durable but also more robust, enriched by a newfound understanding and mutual respect. Surrounded by the warm company of family and friends, Ella felt a profound sense of belonging and immense gratitude. Her heart swelled with joy, comforted by the familiar, loving faces around her and the steadfast presence of Mike at her side. The night was a celebration not just of her birthday but of the enduring power of their love, a testament to the fact that with faith and forgiveness, even the deepest wounds could heal. As we wrap up this journey through the many facets of relationships, health, and self-discovery, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we've learned together. Whether it's deepening our understanding of personal boundaries, exploring the impact of ambition and emotional intelligence on relationships, or uncovering strategies for maintaining our health as we age, there's so much wisdom to take away. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned that you'll bring into your life? Share it in the comments below. Your insights could inspire someone else on their journey. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that empowers and uplifts us. Thank you for watching.